welcome to another heartfelt episode of Women Talk with me, your host, Danielle. Today we're celebrating Father's Day a little differently. Kita akan lihat satu hubungan yang sangat dekat tapi jarang dibicarakan secara mendalam. The relationship between fathers and daughters. Because for many women, a father is the first man they've ever loved and often the standard of how they expect to be treated. So with me are two amazing fathers who will share their experience of fatherhood. We have in the studio Rizman Nordin, fashion designer and co-founder of Maison, Rizman Ruzaini. And joining us today is also a very special little guest, Rizman's daughter, Rizka. Hello, darling.
Hello,
Rizman.
hi. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jika, for being on the show here. And also we have Datuk Nick Bowden. You are an entrepreneur and CEO. So thank you so much for being here today with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So when we talk about the bond between fathers and daughters, we always talk about basically the same theme: protection, discipline, and of course love. But today, I really want to talk about how a father's influence is really just much deeper than that. So I want to ask you, Rizman.
Okay.
Okay. As a dad, how do you portray yourself? And why do you portray yourself that certain way? Are you garang? Are you penyayang?
I think it's a bit of both. I'm okay. How is Rizka? Jadi garang tak?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Betul lah. I think a bit of both. I'm a bit garang and also, but I think at the end of the day, garang is not like solve the problem. You have to be like, with our advisors and then what good to be, benda yang baik untuk dibuat or what's do and don'ts and everything. So yeah, I can say a bit of both. Yeah.
Rizka, Daddy macam mana? Daddy suka...
And Daddy suka kacau.
So Daddy suka kacau. Of course, being playful is also part of being a dad, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like roughhousing. Yeah, betul tak Rizka? So Rizka paling suka apa tentang Daddy? Suka tak bila Daddy always dress you up, cantik-cantik? Suka? Auntie pun suka, Auntie nak juga. Okay, so Nick, I think also, I should ask you the same question. How do you portray yourself to your daughters and how do you think they see you?
Well, I try and be calm with them and teach them how to solve problems because, as Rizman said, getting angry is too easy, right? It's the hard work is to stay calm and to teach them a better way to approach the problems they're going to face in life. Because if you get angry with everything, then they're going to get angry with everything when they're older. Being proactive about trying to find a solution and leading them in the right way is how we try and be at home.
Well, that's beautiful. And of course, when we talk about fatherhood, I think one of the biggest things is also presence, always being there.
Yeah.
Sebab kadang-kadang people always talk about, the status and wealth, harta dan sebagainya. But it's not just that. It's about also being present, connecting with your daughters. And I think a lot of daughters need more emotional bond with their dads. How do you manage that quiet responsibility, knowing that what you say and what you do as a dad actually has a really long impact, like a long-term impact for their emotional health and everything?
I think for me, I'll try to be the best example that I can because at the end of the day, of course, you know that being busy is just, everyone is busy, but how you handle yourself, how you bahagikan your time with your family, that is very important. For me, if I'm home, I try to give it all for them. Memang I'll give attention, kan. At least we have like one meal together. And then we try our best to make sure Sunday is for them. Usually, we will have a small thing, like movie night. And then I will do all the totos in front of the TV, lepak-lepak with her. So this is the thing that I believe that as an entrepreneur, even with me, I have to balance it.
You have to create structure.
Correct. Because banyak sangat yang kita dengar, all the billionaires. And then at the end of the success, the families break kan. Yang tu yang I tak nak.
In the end, kebahagiaan tu diorang tak dapat nak kecapi. Everything else diorang ada.
Betul.
Kan? Yeah. And then, so how do you define also, yourself as a dad and how he creates moments with his daughters? You have two daughters. You also have two daughters.
Yeah, so they're the same age difference as well. So, I've got at the moment a 10 and an 8-year-old. So they're almost 3 years apart. I think like what Rizman was saying is being available to them. I think they always need to know that you are there for them no matter what. And it's hard because sometimes you come home very tired and you need your time too, but you've got to put that aside and put your ego aside and make sure that they always know that you're going to protect them, listen to them. And I think being available to them is really, really important. So that takes a lot of effort.
I want to ask, do you suffer from like what women will have? We have mom guilt. Do you guys also have dad guilt? A kind of a form of mom guilt as well for probably working too hard or paying more attention to other areas in your life?
Okay, since I know that I'm going to work very hard, so I try my best to balance it up. Contohnya, if let's say I have fashion show, I will make sure I bring them. If let's say I have...
you make sure they look the best
Yeah,
too.
yeah, of course. And then they will be with me at the fashion shows. And then Rizka love fashion show. Remember? You like to follow the fashion show, right? Yeah. And then if let's say I have a fashion show in Dubai or in whichever side of the world, I will bring them. I will bring the bawa lah Rizka to, you know, all with my family.
You are always with your family.
Yeah, because I know that I will work very hard because I have a big vision on the other side of the world. You know, I wanted to be really successful in fashion industry.
And you are.
Thank you, Alhamdulillah. Then I also wanted to be very successful in my home life. Yeah.
Bagus lah. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, just making sure that you're there for them and you spend that quality time together. Because I do feel guilt as well if maybe you're a little bit short with our kids, then you feel really bad about it. So you go back, and I think also being able to apologize. Like if you've maybe not handled something well, is to be able to go to them and say, sorry, sayang, I'm sorry if I was a bit short with you. Daddy's having a bit of a, Dad's a bit tired. Because they also have to understand the reality. You can't have a false presence and pretend everything's good all the time. You've got to explain to them, it's, I'm a bit tired. I'm sorry if I was a bit short with you. I'll make it up to you. I think that is also really important, so they understand the realities that you face. Not to make them feel bad, but for you to be able to be honest with them when you make a mistake. I think that's important.
Rizka, I also want to ask, Rizka, nanti nak tanya, you macam mami ke macam daddy? Oh my goodness!
She's daddy's girl.
That was the best Father's Day gift. So there's always still so much more to unpack about the role of fathers and what they play in our lives and the impact they leave behind. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. On Women Talk. I'm Diana, and still with me, Rizman and Datuk Nick. So earlier we talked about presence, how a father's role is often quieter than we realise, but deeply felt. But as daughters grow up, pengaruh tu pun tak berhenti bila anak-anak kita dah besar. It follows them into how they see themselves, how they love, and even how they set boundaries in life. So let's go straight into the topic, but I just want to ask, just a little deeper lah, basically, Ken. Do you still remember the moment when you look at your daughters and like, alamak, they're not babies anymore?
Yeah.
Can you just explain how that transition feels like for you guys?
Literally now, I'm so takut, and then sometimes I feel like janganlah besar cepat sangat Rizka. Yeah, because she's still my baby. But sometimes when when we met people, oh my God, dah besar, dah anak dah. No, it's not yet.
I think there's a fear, right, for dads when they see their daughters grow up.
Yeah, but something about me, if I say, every time that I went to weddings, my client wedding, everything, I imagine, Rizka punya kahwin macam mana nanti ya? How is the baju, how is the plumbing, everything?
She is going to have the best, most beautiful wedding ever. Am I invited?
Of course, oh my God, of course.
So, Datuk Nick, what do you think about the transition for you also as a dad?
Yeah, I'm going through that at the moment because my oldest daughter is starting puberty, right? So that's like a very stressful situation to be in because, we were all young boys at some stage as well. And, the boys look differently at girls, at a certain age. And, I realize now that my older daughter is obviously becoming a young lady, and that's a really stressful time, right?
Is she more emotional? Do you see what I see when I see my daughter? She's 11 now, and she's also going through some turbulent emotional moments.
You definitely see that, and again, just trying to be calm with them and give them the space to express themselves and to grow up and to find out who they are too. But that's probably the most stressful thing is seeing this change from a little girl.
I should also ask Rizka. Rizka, are you still a baby, or do you feel like you're already a big girl? You big! Daddy.
Because she have a sister, she's like, she's really react like a very protective sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that I'm really proud of her. Yeah, the way she treated Raina. Raina is like, syndrome second baby,
Oh,
kan.
yeah,
So like,
the
gung
youngest.
ho like that, kan.
Yeah.
Like she's very calm, very...
I always
she's
feel like the
gangster.
first one is always more proper and the second one is able to just rule the nest.
Yeah.
So how do you learn to trust your daughters, Nick, when you see them making their own choices?
I think you want to guide them and give them the opportunity to decide as well. But if it's the wrong choice, you also want to be able to tell them what there might be a better way to do it as well without being too dominant over them. I think that's the best way, is to let them choose and in a nice way correct them if it might be the wrong choice. But I think the really important thing for me is how they treat each other. I think Rizman was saying, like in our house we have this motto where we say kind words, kind thoughts, and kind deeds. And when they fight each other, that's what we go back to, is kindness. And if they can grow up with this feeling of kindness as to how they treat each other and their parents and people around them, then I think that's a really good basis and a good lesson for them to learn from a very young age. So when they really want to kind of have a go at each other, we say just be kind to each other, because you also want to be treated well by your sister. So I think finding and using their relationship to teach them about life is a really powerful thing to do.
I also want to touch on the topic of how you compliment your partners, which is, their moms. So you have your partner who's a certain way, and how do you compliment your partner at home as a parent?
I think for me it's quite easy. Like, I'm very straightforward. I mean, Suraya is working with me.
Yeah.
It's very hard, to run a big fashion business. So I always straight away like, okay, thank you so much, sayang, for helping me here, and then be a good mom, this, that. I think it's all about communication. You have to voice it out, because at the end of the day, the small thoughts, small penghargaan, pujian, is make a big difference.
Betul. Oh, women love that.
Yeah, you know that, right?
Yeah. So how about you?
Well, I have a 17-year-old son as well, so he's a bit older than the girls, and I think for boys also really important too, because they will see how you treat mum, and same for the girls as well. And they model their behavior on how you are. So I think, of course you can have disagreements sometimes, but keeping that away from the kids and making sure that you are always thankful and grateful, and you show love, and you give your spouse time to have her space to herself as well. And I think they see how you treat your wife, and that's really important, because they will also be expected to be treated that way as well. So it's how they model themselves. So I think that's really, really important, is to do that
That's
as
why
well.
I wanted to kind of put that question in as well, because I think it's also important, not just the dad's love for the daughter, but also how they show love to the wife as well. So I also want to ask, in this industry, Rizka is obviously going to be probably in this industry as well. And we talk about confidence and independence. So how do you encourage her to be confident in a world that often tells girls to be full of insecurities?
I think Rizka ni, we have kind of problem a bit, because she is like COVID baby. COVID baby is very... COVID baby is a bit shy and everything. But for her, I try my best to make her boost up her confidence by bawa everything. I bring her with me to the fashion show, and then sometimes to expose her to the world.
Socialize.
Correct. So that she understands how to socialize with people and everything.
I thought because she's introverted like you.
I think so, yeah.
Good.
Introvert. Yeah, I'm an introvert.
I feel like
that.
you are.
Yeah,
I've known you for
super
so many
introvert,
years, and I feel like, I still haven't broken through yet.
Yeah.
So how about yourself, talking about confidence, because I think that's so important for girls to know that they have someone who they can feed confidence and love to.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge for girls. Boys kind of, if they disagree with each other at school, they kind of just get on with it. They don't hold on too much. But girls, it can be really, really tough when they come home from school, and girls can be very cliquey and they can be quite mean. But also, asking them to be able to understand that those are not really the girls they want to be around. Move away from them, find your gang that is friendly and open, and don't try and, try to be friends with this cool kid who's actually quite mean to you. So we see a lot of that, so that's really important from a social point of view. And I think the other one is just keeping them as far away from social media as possible. We've really made a decision about that they, until they're 16, which is obviously the law now in Malaysia,
Thank God.
they just keep them far away from social media, because I think that's where there's a lot of this bullying modeling and this kind of this
Yeah.
unhealthy modeling of what they should look like.
Yes.
So I think that's also something that we actively do. But managing school friendships and relationships especially for an 11-year-old is really, really challenging, and I think that can be quite tough.
All of these things that you're saying here, I can totally relate to. So the relationship between a father and daughter is often one that evolves with time, bringing new understanding at every stage of life. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. I'm with Rizman and Datuk Nick, and we've been talking about the beautiful, sometimes unexpected journey of being a father to a daughter. So, for the last segment, we want to talk about the emotional journey of becoming a girl dad, the softening, the learning, and the quick ways daughters change their fathers. So, Rizka, Aunty nak tanya. Boleh tanya tak? Kalau Rizka sad kan, Daddy selalu buat apa?
Funny noise.
Funny noise? Daddy nak demonstrate ke? Demonstrate sikit funny noise tu? So lepas tu, Rizka laugh lah macam tu lah. Oh lah, comel. That's nice. Rizka suka Rizka punya adik. Suka main dengan adik. Kalau adik sad, Rizka buat apa? Puan buat funny noise juga?
If Raina sad, what do you do?
Pucuk.
Bagi best saya.
Bagi
Bagi pacifier. Suka lah. Itulah kakak kan.
Yeah.
So Rizman, I just want to also ask kan, contohnya in this situation when you have to kind of be more emotionally open sebab you ada daughter.
Okay.
Kan? Apa yang buat dia ubah you, perception you tentang diri you as a man and as a dad?
Actually kan, I've never thought I will be like family man. Never in my life I will thought I will be a family man. Macam now, I'm so into them sampai kan if let's say Suraya wanted to go somewhere macam holiday with her friends dekat girl trips to anywhere, it's okay, I can take care of them. For me now, my time is their time too. So if let's say you ask me what is your me time now, be with them. I even though like I bukanlah macam always lepak dengan orang, no, it's just that be present with them, something that make me very full of joy.
Yes, and talking about that, I think we can continue. What's your perception about men owning fatherhood? Because it's not just participation, it's owning up to that title.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, again, it's your role to guide them along the right way and to try and use some of the mistakes you may have made in your life to kind of teach them lessons, I think, in a positive way. So I think that's the responsibility of a dad, is to be available, to show them love and to try and show them the right way. They're going to make mistakes along the way. That's okay. But yeah, I think guiding them in the right way is what we need to do.
Was there a moment that you realized being a strong father actually means to be more emotionally open?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that strength comes from emotion, right? So, and the correct emotion. But I think when you feel them responding to that, then you feel the strength. Like when you show them a way that they understand and they love you back, and they give you that warmth, and that you've got that right emotion going. I think that's what I feel.
Yeah.
That's very true. And okay, so bapa zaman sekarang ni kan, do you agree they're more emotionally available and open daripada bapa-bapa kita yang dulu?
The term of lead by example is very important. For me, I really wanted to lead them by example so that I know one day if let's say I dah tak ada kat dunia ni, I can leave the best the best kids to sambung my generation. This is the thing I always thought when I become a dad.
You're doing amazing. I love seeing your kids.
Thank you.
So you have a son and 2 daughters. Tell me, in terms of like how you parent, what's the biggest difference you see?
I think again, it's just like they're obviously all different personalities, and being able to address them each in their own way to what they respond to, because they respond differently to different things. I think that's also what I see is important, is to be able to change your approach to each kid. And of course, because there's a big age difference with my son, he's also very good with them too, so he tries to teach them the right way, and he's super loving as well. And hopefully that's also because, I've set that example for him. But yeah, I think just being able to offer them different things in different ways, because they're different children, right? I think that's also important.
But is it true that, dads love their daughters more than their sons?
Ooh, it's a different type of love. Like
I always get that. They're like, oh, you love your son more. And I'm like, no.
Honestly, of course you love all your kids, right? But
Yeah.
I think when my daughter was born, it's hard that they have a different place in your heart to a son. It's weird. It's like they're
I think it's the
really
same
deep
thing
inside you for
mothers
mums.
as well.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. They just occupy a different space in your heart, I think.
Yeah.
But of course, you love them all.
Of course we love them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to ask Rizka.
Okay,
Rizka, sekarang ni kan Father's Day. Rizka ada tak nak cakap apa-apa dekat Daddy? Ada? Nak dengar boleh tak?
Okay.
Rizka sayang Daddy sebab Daddy buat baju sangat.
Oh, Lola.
Lepas tu Daddy suka buat funny face, kan? Lepas tu Daddy suka bagi hug tak? Suka. Rizka suka hug? Oh, very nice. Boleh hug Daddy?
Oh.
Alah. Yay. If you could tell yourself one thing before you became a dad, for both of you, what would you actually tell yourself?
Before I become a dad, there's a lot of worries and everything, kan, because it's a big amanah, kan, it's responsible that you have to carry. But after that, I'm like, my God, it's such a full of joy, it's like complete yourself as a human being, seriously, because you know that you somehow become a protector, you become everything for them, because this is the amanah that you have to carry, like, for the whole, until you close your eyes. Yeah, this is a thing yang I think there's a lot of joy, then there's nothing to be worried, nothing to be scared about.
Yeah, especially if you're always showing up as a person, as a dad. What about you?
Oh, I think just the fact that you can't switch off.
Oh, yeah.
There's no opportunity not to be a dad. You've really got to stay calm and just always be present to them. I think that's what I would tell myself before, is just stay present in their lives and stay calm. I think that's it. Calmness is so important.
Self-control.
Yes.
You need to be, in your
In
right
your zone,
bubble.
yeah.
You cannot because at the end of the day, you have to lead by example. You cannot
sure.
Stay calm. That is the right word.
Yeah, I think men really need to, because we women have our flows.
Yeah, men have to compose.
You have to always be the calm one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really love this episode.
Thank you.
And you guys really give me a lot of insight as well and new perspective. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having
me. And it's clear that being a father to a daughter is not just about raising a child. It's also about growing as a man, learning softness, strength, and love in a very different way. Thank you to our guests for such an honest and meaningful conversation. And to our audience back at home, if you like our topic today, send some love to our social media at Women Talk TV3, at TV3 Malaysia. To all the fathers watching, happy Father's Day. I'm Danielle. Goodbye.